Hi there. Here is the opportunity for Tesla. They recently announced their service Robotaxi. And you have to ask yourself how much money they can make. Because once you figure that out, you can easily value their opportunity. So right now, the market cap of Tesla is about $1 trillion. Just keep in mind this number, and they make a revenue close to $100 billion, so 97 billion. Now, Elon announced that they'll offer their services for $4.20 flat fee per ride, right? Now, how can you calculate the future opportunity for this service? Only from Robotaxi. Well, you also have to dig deeper to look what Elon said and then do some analysis. First, Elon said that he predicts, in fact, that by the end of 2026, there will be about 1 million Robotaxi in the US, only in the US. Now, this may happen in 2026, 2027, but he predicts about 1 million, right? And then you also have to ask yourself, what other markets can Tesla expand into? Well, the market is Europe, where they may have another 1 million. And of course, you can also add other markets. But first, I'll focus first on the US and Europe, because those are the highest market where the money is. So let's say they will have 1 million in the US, 1 million Europe, maybe, and then they will continue to grow in other markets and also in the US. They may grow more plus Europe. So let's say in total, they may have 3 million Robotaxi. In the next, 5 years, 10 years, around that range. Now, you also have to ask yourself, how much does a Robotaxi make? And to answer that question, you have to ask yourself, how many rides the taxi has, the average. And if you search on the internet, you'll find out that an average taxi has about, between 20 and 40 rides a day. Now, let's say 20 to be conservative, right? If a car, only a cab, Robotaxi from Tesla, has 20 rides a day and they charge $4.20, that means a day a car makes about $84, right? A day. Be aware of this. Now, per month, you multiply this amount by 30. And a Robotaxi makes about $2,520 a month. And per year, you multiply by 12 months, because you have 12 months in a year. This means a Robotaxi, Tesla, can make about $30,000 a year. Now, once you know these numbers, be aware of this, and the future growth, let's say 3 million Robotaxi, of course, this number may be higher if you expect Latin America to may include another 20 million. So you may have 5 million, or even more. Maybe they can grow more in the US and Europe, and also in Asia. You can also include Asia. But let's be conservative for the moment. 3 million, right? Something that can be achievable, that they can serve. 3 million. Of course, they also have to get adoption, customer adoption. So let's say 3 million for the moment to see the market size, their opportunity for the next 5 to 10 years. So you take this number, 3 million Robotaxi here, and multiply by how much a taxi car can earn a year. 30,000, right? And if you do the math, you'll find out that Tesla can earn revenue $90 billion. $90 billion. What does it mean, $90 billion? Well, compare only the opportunity from Robotaxi, only this service, $90 billion, with the current revenue, $97 billion. You can see that they can double the revenue quite easily only from this service. only from this service. And then you have to ask yourself, what will their profits be? Because the revenue, they can reach another, they can make another 90 billion revenue. And then you have to ask yourself, what's their margins? $10% or 5%? 10%, you have 9 billion in earnings, right? 5%, you have 4.5 billion in earnings. Now, if you believe that they can deliver 20% margins, then you can have 18 billion in earnings. That will be quite a lot. Quite a lot. So, to see the market size is quite easy. If you do the math, just think a bit, analyze the average taxi rides per day, how much they earn. You already have this number provided by Elon Musk. You can check it on X platform. And also his interview where he said 1 million Robotaxi by the end of 2026. That may happen. So he gave you all the numbers. You only have to calculate the market size, the market opportunity. And in my view, maybe about, based on these current numbers, 90 billion. Now, if they increase this fee, let's say to $5, $6, and of course, this market opportunity can get higher. And again, if they get major adoption, they may have more than 3 million Robotaxi. As I said, you also have Latin America plus Asia. You may have another 2 million. And if that happens, 5 million. So from 90 billion, you can have another 2x opportunity over a longer period. 180 billion. So as you can see, the market size is quite large and quite nice mine. And then you have to ask yourself the most important question, the margin. What's their margins? What will their margins be? 5%, 10%? Now, if you expect 20%, that will be quite a lot. In my view, between 5 and 10%. For the moment, what I expect, because they have their costs. And then you also have to see how their fleet will work. Because here, they might offer their own cars. So own cars. Or cars from people who bought a Tesla. So private cars. And you also may have partnerships with Uber and other car sharing services. And if that happens, for sure it will happen, then this pie will be divided among different owners of their cars. Still, the market size is quite large. Based on this opportunity, you might have 90 billion, 100 billion revenue for Tesla. And of course, be aware of their profit margins. If they make 9 billion, that will be nice. They'll take this money. They might invest. For sure, they'll invest in their business. They might offer other services, high value services. So, if you want to value this company now, based on the current market cap 1 trillion, if they double the revenue and earnings, you add another 9 billion to 7 billion, that means 16 billion. Yes, you can have a double based on the market expectations. That Tesla will continue to grow more in the future. But again, be aware of the valuation here. This is just an assumption. It might happen or not. So Robotaxi is a big driver for Tesla. Another important stream of revenue for Tesla. So if you have other questions, Or if you want other investment ideas, high returns, you can join my portfolio, go to my profile and press join, and there you'll have great investment ideas. So that's it for this video, and if you have other questions, please let me know in the comments.